Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, hosting Cruz, and guys, the pride of Puerto Rico in Caguas, Juanmita Lopez. He represented 3 million plus on the island and around the world. This was the eyes of Puerto Rico was on Paris earlier today. As Juanmita Lopez, the son of former world champion, multiple-time world champion Juanma Lopez, Juanmita took center stage on the grand stage of the Olympics. And the Olympics is one of the most prestigious events to ever take place on this earth, and is one of the most prestigious events anybody can compete in. Not much can say they've been to the Olympics and compete, and Juanmita can say he's had the honor and privilege and opportunity to compete in the Olympics. And that's what he did today. Now, I'm here to talk about his experience and his fight with Hasanboy out of Uzbekistan. Coming in, a lot of people saying this will be a tough fight. This is not an easy fight. He's got it tough. Even as skilled as Juanmita is and good of a boxer that he is, he's got it tough. I didn't know who Hasanboy is prior to the fight. Now, I did my research, and Juanmita was in there with a damn shark, man. A lion. A beast. This, on paper, was a total mismatch on paper, because you got Juanmita, who's been impressive in his amateur career, with a 10 wins, 4 losses record, 1 knockout, amateur career. He's not a pro. 18 years old, right? Then you got a fighter like Hasanboy Dusmatov of Uzbekistan, with a record of 121 wins, 13 losses and 6 knockouts in his amateur career. This is just amateur career alone. He's also a pro fighter. So amateur career. So here, listen to the experience here. Juanmita, 14 fights alone. With Hasan, with 121, with 13 losses. Look at that gap of experience. And on top of that, Hasanboy has been to the mountaintop in the amateurs and Olympics. He's won gold. He's won the Olympic. He's won the gold medal in 2016 in Rio. So he's been to the mountaintop already. Juanmita was a huge underdog coming into this fight. I didn't know how big of an underdog he was until I saw the experience that Hasanboy came in there with. Almost 200 amateur fights, Olympic gold medal winner in 2016. And here he is competing again in the Olympics, beating Juanmita, and moving on to the next matchup. And likely he's very good. He's so good that he might even win gold again in 2024. But let's talk about the fight. Let's talk about the fight. And here's the thing now, while I get ready to talk about the fight. This huge gap of experience from Hasanboy. Juanmita, with only 14 amateur fights, 18 years old, was able to go in there and be competitive with Hasanboy. Hasanboy may have landed the more telling shots in the fight, but Juanmita boxed well. Used his jab. He did good body shots, landed good body shots. He did good body work, and landed good counters as well, and that left hand as well. Now Hasanboy, of course, eventually showed his experience moving around, moving, using the angles, the ring IQ, the being slippery in there, trying to count the counters. And Juanmita at times was matching counter for counter, ducking, slipping just like Hasanboy. You know, Juanmita was like, if you can duck and slip, I can do it too. You want a showboat? I can do it too. You could counter, I can counter too. So at times Juanmita was counter for counter, shot for shot. And at 18 years old with only 14 amateur fights compared to Hasanboy, Olympic gold medal on his resume already and almost 200 amateur fights, Juanmita was able to go in there and be competitive with the man. At times, where it came to a point where Juanmita knew, understood that, okay, I can't just box this guy. I got to take the fight to him. And he did. He put his hands up, went forward like his father, and brought the fight. He was not afraid of Hasanboy. 18 years old, 14 amateur fights, was not afraid. He stood right in his chest, trade shots. He even landed a left hand so hard that Hasanboy almost went out the ring. He went through the ropes. That was the most telling shot Juanmita landed throughout the fight. Competitive fight. The first 2 rounds were kind of hard to score. I guess he wanted to score for Hassan because he landed the more harder shots. But Juanmita landed some good shots here and there as well. And then Juanmita took the last round for sure. But the first round, it was a close one. The second round, you got to give it to Hasanboy. It was 5-0 based on the judges. But even though Juanmita lost his fight, he represented the island. He put the island on the map in Paris. And even though he came up short, he was able to compete in the Olympics, something a lot of boxers out of Puerto Rico, and a lot of boxers in the world aren't able to do. Juanmita can say at least that he was able to compete and represent Puerto Rico proudly. Because to compete in the Olympics, you got to qualify. You got to win matches. And Juanmita earned his spot. And even though he lost, it's who he lost to. He lost to a man with over almost 200 amateur fights, an Olympic gold medal already to his resume in 2016 in Rio, and he's also a professional fighter. Massive experience Juanmita went in there with. Juanmita is only 18, only 14 amateur fights, no professional fights compared to Hassan. Olympic gold medal, almost 200 amateur fights. I have to repeat it because this is the type of experience Juanmita, 18 years old, still a teenager. This is the type of fighter he fought. You gotta give credit where it's due for Juanmita stepping in there with a guy like that, a caliber of that, like that. So just wanted to come on here and talk about my experience with this fight, what I thought about it, and just that big, huge gap of experience Juanmita fought in Hasanboy. Hasanboy was the real deal. Juanmita went in there with possibly the best fighter in that weight class in this Olympics. Juanmita went in there straight into the fire. And like I said, even though in defeat, I'm happy with his performance. Could have been worse. There's always a worse. And of course, he could have done better, but he's going to learn from this for sure. Losing the Olympics is not the end of your career. A lot of fighters have lost in the Olympics and went on to become tremendous pros. So we expect tremendous things out of Juanmita in the pro ranks. Because this fight, he went to school and he learned a lot. He fought one of the best fighters in amateur boxing. And yeah, whew. Juanmita definitely went to school today, and I'm sure he will definitely learn and transition those learning skills into the pro ranks. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Social Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.